Should Parliament move to Tshwane? Well, that's what the EFF is proposing to lawmakers. A 2018 assessment study estimated that the relocation process could cost around 9 billion rand at the time, but the EFF insists it wants the administrative and legislative capital in one place to ensure access and accountability.
This private member bill to relocate the seat of Parliament is an act to make this Parliament the Parliament of many of our people. Our people must come to Parliament to participate and become part of holding the executive accountable and must become part of the lawmaking.
Parliament is also in the process of reconstructing the buildings damaged by the fire in January last year. The reconstruction is set to cost about 2.5 billion rand over 2 years. Other political parties are concerned about the costs of relocating the national legislature.
The reality is that as a national heritage site, it has to be rebuilt and restored. So relocating Parliament will thus mean that 2 parliaments will be built and at double the costs. This makes no financial sense and something the taxpayers cannot and will not afford. The country is in a desperate economic state.
A relocation of Parliament to a central space geographically is to make it much more accessible, is to make it much more democratic. So if anything, this bill is about the intensification of democracy.
When we look at the figures for relocation, it runs into almost 13 to 14 billion. It is quite clear, Honourable Chairperson, that we can ill afford to spend state resources in that kind of manner.
It is not the correct costs. And the reason I say that, Chairperson, is that the relocation and the whole relocation of civil servants, I do not see in these costs.
Faced with other important social and economic priorities for the country, this bill is not a priority for the country. We therefore do not and will not support this bill. We'll go into detail about our political, social and economic reasons for rejecting this bill when it referred to a relevant portfolio or standing committee.
But Malema is unfazed about the cost factor.
The argument which everybody seems to be advancing that there are more important issues that are pressing in our country and that the money can be used effectively to improve on those issues than to relocate Parliament. It's a disingenuous argument because all of those issues that are happening in our country, that as a result of a dysfunctional democracy.
The EFF would need the support of other political parties for the bill to be approved. Ulelani Philip, SABC News, Parliament.